Okay, so today I want to talk about Excel, that is spreadsheet calculations. So we finished our first assignment this last weekend, right? And I'm going to meet with the grader at 4 o'clock this afternoon, or 4:30 rather. And we're going to start looking at what you handed. He'll mainly be grading it, but I'll go over some examples with him and point out to him how I want these things graded. There's two sections of this class. There's about 80 students altogether, so there's 80 papers to read, so it takes a little while, okay, so you can't be too terribly anxious, but we'll start working on it and hopefully get it done in a week or so. There's been some question about VNet here, so I'd like to mention that this class, everything for this class, all announcements, assignments, assessments, everything in this class is on Blackboard. Okay? I wouldn't even have you messing with VNet except I record these lectures, and Blackboard does not have a facility for recording these lectures. Okay? And so I have to use VNet, okay, in order to let you be able to have downstream these lectures, at your leisure. But that's the only thing on VNet that this class is for. Any announcements on VNet, assignments on VNet, okay, you can ignore. Okay? All you want is the lectures over there. Now, what's happening is there is a class at a university in Puerto Rico. This is also taking this class. Okay? They don't have access to Blackboard, okay? So they have some stuff over there on VNet, okay? But the only thing that you're interested in on VNet is simply the recordings. So you should turn things in on Blackboard. Okay? You shouldn't turn them in on VNet. Okay? You shouldn't mail them to me. Okay? But this time, if you turn them in on VNet, we'll go get them, okay? But the next time, we won't, okay? Okay, so there's a new assignment up there, called assignment 2. Let's look at it. It's called assignment 2, okay? And there's one attachment. You can download this attachment, okay? Or just look at it. Using spreadsheets. So, again, this class teaches 3 things: concepts, issues, and skills. And the skills part really means Word and PowerPoint and Excel and Access. It's the stuff that you find in an office suite like Microsoft Office, okay? And in class I have been using Microsoft Office 2007. I have Microsoft 2007 on this computer here. All of these computers have Microsoft 2007. There is a 2010 available. We really ought to convert over to 2010, but it takes a little time, and effort and money to do that. I mean, to do these 48 stations here is a non-trivial project, okay? It takes people, a couple of days of full-time work to do it. Investigate the financial history of the company you were assigned in assignment 1. Make an Excel spreadsheet of its stock values at closing each week for the past year. Well, I guess that would be 52 weeks, right? 52 numbers again. The spreadsheet should have 4 columns. The date, that is, the date it would be a Friday. Each Friday in the week, in the month, in the year. And the price, okay, the closing price. The price difference from the previous week, okay. The percent difference from the previous week. If there have been stock splits, add a fifth column. Each row should have a value 1 before the first split. After the first split, each row should have the new value of a single share. For instance, if the split was 2 for 1, the new value would be 2. If the split was 3 for 2, the new value would be 1.5. After the second split, the value would be the product of the two splits. A 2 for 1 followed by a 3 for 2 would be 2 over 1 times 3 times 2 would be 3. If there have been dividends, add a fifth or possibly sixth column, okay? If there's splits and dividends both, okay? Showing the dividend for a single share. Assume you bought $1,000 worth of this stock each week for the past year. How much would your holdings be worth week by week, considering the change in prices each week and any splits or dividends? Add a column showing this accumulation. Graph your results in one or more graphs that you feel best convey an understanding of the results. Use any Excel graph type that you deem appropriate. Turn in all results on a single Excel worksheet with different pages for each graph. March 3rd at midnight, okay? Well, what is all this stuff? So, I'm going to go through this and do some examples. But before I do that, I'm going to just talk about Excel itself and do some simpler things first. Now, how many of you know how to use Excel already? Well, hold your hand up there. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about a dozen or so? Okay. Now, how many have never ever done anything in Excel? Never, nothing. Okay. Come on. A non-committal class here, right? Okay, is there any question about this? I mean, I am going to go over it again and again. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to do some examples. We're going to use the internet, okay? And we're going to have to see what we can find out. Actually, the internet has stock prices, you know, for various things. Okay, well, let me close that up, okay? Another thing is this week we're going to have our first exam. And here's a assessment, okay? So actually, there are a lot of practice tests there that you could look at. Okay? And so you probably want to do the practice test on those parts of the book that I have covered. Okay? I've covered hardware. I've covered software. I've covered digital. I've covered digital literacy. Okay. So you want to probably look at this practice test here on hardware. Here's a practice test on hardware processing. Here's a practice test on hardware storage. Okay, and so forth. Okay. So all of these practice tests are either multiple choice or true/false. And so the quiz that we're going to have this week, the quiz will be on Thursday. It does not take the whole class period. It only takes, I think, 30 minutes. And so it will be available during the last 30 minutes. So on Thursday, I will meet class here as usual, and we'll do something. Probably work on Excel some more. And then when the time comes, the test will open up, okay? And it won't be available before 30 minutes before the end of class. And suddenly you'll be able to access it, okay? And take the test, okay? And then at the end of class, it will go away, and you won't be able to access it again. And how many of you have taken a test before on Blackboard? And so you know how to do it, right? You know, you go down, you mark all the answers. Then you have to say save, okay, and then submit, right? So for instance, if we come down here and let's say we look at this practice test on hardware processing. Okay. So here it is, okay? And it says begin assessment. So you just click on that. And the quiz comes up, okay? The speed of the bus can impact the overall performance of a CPU. Okay? Is that true or false? We're going to mark true, okay? Now you got to mark true, and then sooner or later you got to say save answer. And if you don't mark the save answer, then you didn't answer it. Okay? Down at the very bottom, you can save all in one. You can click save all. That'll save all your answers, okay? Or you can save them one at a time. Right? And then you say finish, okay? And when you say finish, that will submit your test, okay? Over here, it'll tell you the answer. It'll tell you, you know, what you have, okay? So right now, I haven't saved anything. So if I say true and I say save answer, I click save answer here. See a little check mark comes there, and it says I've done question 1. Yeah.
Are the practice questions the same as the test? Are they very similar?
The grades similar?
No, are the questions similar?
Yes.
Are they like the same ones?
No. Some of them may be the same, actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, the practice tests are not for grade. They're for practice. Okay. So that'll be Thursday, okay? Yes. I think they're 30. Yeah, you actually have plenty of time, okay? Like, you know, you got 30 minutes, you got a whole minute, you know, to answer true, false. Actually, a good many people leave after about 5 or 10 minutes, they're finished. As soon as you finish the test, you're through for the day and you can leave. And usually it doesn't take 30 minutes. However, there are students that will stay the whole 30 minutes. So it's on hardware, it's on software, it's on what? The stuff that we're learning. No, that won't be on the test. And in fact, the stuff I'm talking about today, Excel, will not be on the test. Okay, so let's look at some Excel stuff. So anyway, you just go to Excel, bring up Excel and click on New, and then it'll say blank worksheet, and you'll say Create. So this is then a worksheet, and so worksheets are used quite extensively in business. And you know, you get a job in most any business around here, you know, one of the first things they may ask you to do is do a spreadsheet on something. Okay, so this is a very important skill to learn, you know, as you know, part of your computer competency. So an Excel spreadsheet it's a matrix. Okay, that's rows and columns. Okay. The columns are numbered by, or you know, have alphabetic, A, B, C, D. Okay. If it gets to the end of the alphabet, then it starts going A, B, A, C, okay, and B, A, B, C, you know, B, A, B, 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 C. The rows have numbers on them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. A spreadsheet is 256 rows by 256 columns, so it's very large. Okay? And to start with, it's all just blank. And so the spreadsheet consists then of cells. Okay? So each little box here is a cell. So each cell has a row number, okay, and a column number. Okay? And in fact, we refer to this cell here as cell E5, as we list the letter first, okay, and then the number again. That's cell number E5. Okay. This cell down here is G9. Notice when I click on the cell, the column and row show what it is. So this is cell G9. Now you can put data in these cells. And there's different types of data that you can put in the cell. And if you go up here, see where it says General right here, and you click here, these are the kinds of data that you can put in a cell. A cell can be a general format. And in fact, by default, all the cells are general. It can be a number. That's if you're going to compute with it. Okay. It can be a currency. Yeah, you can compute with currencies. Okay. It can be an accounting number. It can be a short date, a long date. Okay. It can be a time, a percentage, a fraction. It can be a scientific number. And it can be text. Now, we will work with text, and we will work with currency, and we will work with number. We will work with time. We'll work with dates. Okay. So now let's just pick a cell and let's just put in, let's suppose that we want to balance our checkbook, okay? And so we want an Excel application which will keep track of how much money we have in our bank account, okay? Well, you know, first thing you do in a spreadsheet is sort of design the spreadsheet. Decide what each columns and what each of these columns and rows are going to represent. And if I'm going to balance a checkbook, I may have some header stuff here. Okay, I may in A1 I may put my name. Okay, I put name. Colon, okay. I go to the next, you know, I'll put maybe my first name, And my last name. And then I may over here put the bank. And this may be JP Morgan Chase. I may put my account number. Whatever I want. These are you know, headings, okay. Now here I'm going to put you know, my register, okay. This is going to be my deposits and my checks, okay, and it's going to keep my balance for me, okay. So down here I probably want date, and then I want deposit. And here I want to say check number. And so the amount of the check. Or this may be an ATM transaction. Then there might be some other charge, right? Bank charge. And then balance. So let's say that I started my bank account, you know, on as I say January the 2nd, okay. So I can say 1/2/12, okay. That's one way to put in a date. And let's say that the first thing I did was make a deposit. Let's say I deposited $1,000. And so the balance then would be $1,000, right? And let's say then on January the 3rd, let's say I wrote a check, okay? This would be a check, say 101, and I wrote this check for $200. Then the balance here would be $800, right? And let's say on 1/5/12, let's say I withdrew you know, $150 again. And let's say it was from the ATM, okay? So we just put an X over here from the ATM, okay? And so now that would be $650. Yeah. And let's say on 1/9/12, I made another deposit. Okay, let's say I deposited $1,500, and this was from the ATM. Yeah. Then I would get $21.50, right? And so forth. Okay, so I'll enter data like this. Okay. Now, what I want to do is all of these data I've been putting in are general types. Okay, because that's the default. Okay, and I ought to really specify what kind of data I'm entering here. For instance, all this stuff up here is really text. Now, it's true, the account number is a number, but I'm not going to do any addition or subtraction with it. Okay. So basically, I can go, so I can mark those off. To mark them off, you just click, hold down the left button and mark off what you part of it. Okay, and then you just say that is all that stuff is going to be text. Okay. And then this heading line here, all of this is also text. Okay. And all this stuff down here, you know, is going to be a date, right? So it's actually a short date, okay, like this, okay, short date. All this stuff here is going to be currency, right? I mean, I can make it a number, okay? But I really want to make it currency, okay? Let me just make it a number to start with, okay? Say those are numbers, okay? Then what happens is, if these are numbers, it'll have 2 digits, okay, after the decimal place. Notice I made a mistake up here on this 1000. I typed in 1000, comma 00 instead of 0.00, okay? That would be a common mistake, you know. A lot of countries use a comma, you know, instead of a decimal point, okay, for fractions. Okay? In fact, I think the United States is one of the few countries that uses a decimal point. Most people use a decimal comma. Someone's going to change that. 1000.00. Notice here. If you put in a number, then it knows that these are going to be used for addition and subtraction. And there's a question about how many decimals after the decimal point there are. Okay? So this little thing right up here adds a decimal. Okay, so I'm sorry, subtracts a decimal. Okay, this adds a decimal. Okay, you can add decimal and subtract them here to make it anything you want. Okay? But really, I don't want those to be numbers. I want that to be currency. So I click on that. Okay, and then if it's currency, it always has 2 decimal places and also has a $sign in front of everything. Okay? These checks here are numbers. And they don't need any decimal point after them, okay? So I can reduce it. I can just store them as whole numbers, okay? These amounts are currency. These ATM, it just marks where it is an ATM or not, okay? That's the text. Bank charges will be currency. I don't have any bank charges yet, okay. But those will be currency. And these balances will be currency. Okay. Now I only mark these down to around here, okay. If I keep using this, I'm going to get down to cells that are general, okay. If I look at this cell right here, see it's of type general. And if I go up one, it's currency. See, I marked it down to here. So I really ought to be a little more careful. I ought to maybe, maybe I don't want to go down 256 here. I might only want to go down, so I'm going to click the left mouse, hold it. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go down to say, I don't know, 35, okay. But it starts on 5, okay. And then I can go over here and I can mark, I can put, you know, borders. And so now, you know, so I really ought to mark them all the way down to the bottom of this thing here, you know. I really should have done this first, okay. So really I should go back, you know, make sure everything, you know, down to there is a date, okay. Short date, okay. Everything down to here is a currency. This currency already. Yeah. Okay. Now you can pick a cell out, and you can do arithmetic. Okay. For instance, if that's 800, if you don't want to do it yourself, you know, you can say, well, what this is, it's this balance up here, 1,000 minus this $200 check that I wrote, okay? And this balance is in G6, okay? And this check is in D7, okay? So if I want the Excel to do that for me and put the answer in this cell right here, okay, I can click equal, and if the first thing that you click on a cell is equal, that says you want to do some arithmetic in that cell, okay? And then you put the cell IDs in there. So you're going to say G6, okay, minus, okay, D7. Okay. I notice that over here it's marked, you know, what you've, you know, so basically you want to take 1,000, subtract 200 from, okay. Now you hit enter, and you get the 800 here, okay. So here, this 800 is a calculated value. This 800 is, I just put in 800. I did it myself. I'm going to erase that. I mean, you really, here really should do this is equal to G6 minus D7. How did I get what? How did I get the? What did I want?
Like when you put it to number 35, what did you get?
Number 35.
You know how it's like dark around all of your numbers? Yeah, make it the grid line.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So if you want grid lines around something, you mark off an area. That is, you click down the left button, okay, and move the cursor around, okay. And then let go, okay. And so you've marked off this area here, okay. And up here, there is this little icon up here for doing grids, okay. And so if you click all borders, then it does all of them, okay. But if you click, say, left border, no. I guess what I should do is you can click no border. Here. It all goes away. Then you can click, say, left border. See, that's only the left border there, yeah. But typically, if you want to, you want to do, you can do all borders, and after you do all borders, then you can come down here, whoops, and you can do a thick box border. See, and that gives you a kind of a heavier border, at the edge. And you can click on this, and you can fill it with color if you want, okay? I mean, if you want to fill these things with colors, you can. If you want to type in them, A, B, C, and you can hold down the left button and mark those, and then you can change the color of the printing. You can also boldface, or italicize, or underscore, or you can change the font, okay. So you can actually, make this spreadsheet, as pretty as you want, and so these, you kind of need to look at them, but they're very similar to what you have on Microsoft Word, right? And if I click on this, okay, it's left indented, okay, and in fact, text is normally left indented and numbers are right indented, okay? If I click on that, I can change the, I can put it in the middle, right? I can put it on the right, in the middle, back where it was, okay? If I want to put the text in vertically, I can do that. So there's all these sorts of things, okay, for beautifying your spreadsheet. Over here is something you say clear all, okay, so you mark it off and clear it out. Okay. Now, let me just clear that out. Clear that out. Clear that out. And, let's suppose that on 111, 12. Suppose that I got out $52, okay, and 61 cents, okay, in an ATM transaction, okay. Let's say on the 12th, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, got another $25 here. All right. The ATM. Oops. I'm bad about using the ATM, right? And then let's say I wrote a check, okay, for $82.77. Now, after a while, this is going to get kind of long, okay? And I would like to get Excel to calculate these balances for me, okay? I don't want to calculate the balances, okay? So I can click on this cell here, and I can say this is G6 minus D7, okay? And then I can click on that, okay, and say that's G7 minus D8. I mean, I can calculate each one of these individually. But in Excel, there is what's called vector features, okay? And so basically, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take I'm gonna click down on the left, okay, and I'm gonna go down. This whole way. Right? So basically, I've chosen everything in the balance column except the first cell, and I'm going to say equal. Okay. Now, this balance is it's the previous balance, so then I'm going to do this. I'm going to click this first cell here, and I'm going to go all the way down except to the next to the last one, okay? That's saying each one of these balances is the previous balance, okay? Plus, okay, any deposits that are made, okay? So I'm going to start, not counting this first deposit because that was kind of special. I'm going to click that and go all the way down to here. Come back up. Minus anything that I withdrew, okay? I'm going to click on that and go all the way down. Now, what this says is this column here that I've marked is G6 through G34. Okay? That is, the first one here is G6, okay, the next one is G7, and then G8 and G9. So G6 through G34 plus B7 over here minus D7. Okay. Now, to get it to compute that entire column, I'm going to hold down Shift and Control, and then I'm going to hit Enter. Okay. So it does the entire column here, okay? So basically, it's computed the balances for me. And notice that after this, so it starts off with 1,000, it comes down to 850, down to 650. Then I deposited 1,500, okay? Then I took off 52, 61, took off 25, took off 82. Now, down here, if I put in, let's say, I go to the ATM and I take off, let's say, $100, okay? Hit enter. Everything down below. If that was an ATM, I need to mark that, okay? Now let's say on the same day, I need a date over here, okay? I need a date up here, okay? This date here is, let's say 1/13/12. And this would be 1/14/12. Let's say I deposited something. Let's say I deposited $111. Okay, so $110 and 38 cents again. See, I can make a deposit and a withdrawal all on the same day, right? Now, why did this down at the bottom? What happened here? Why did it suddenly start saying 2,000? It doesn't have a dollar sign on it. Why not? Because I didn't mark those as being currency. Remember? I just went down and picked some. I said I really need to go back, you know, and take this whole thing here and make that currency, all that currency here. See? Now they're all, you know, currencies here. So now I'm set up so that if I you know, deposit something, you know, these will all be updated automatically. Okay? And so it makes banking easy, right? You don't have to, you know, putz around, you know, and add all that stuff yourself. It'll all be all set up, see? Do this on your Mac, right? Do it on your iPhone, right? Okay, so that's doing a bank account. What else can I do besides a bank account? Oh, looky here. I got an error. I didn't subtract off bank charges. These numbers right here are basically the previous balance, okay, plus any deposit, minus any withdrawal. But I didn't take off bank charges. So let's suppose on this day there was a $10 bank charge, okay? Whoops, what did I do? Pay attention to this. I suppose on this day there was a bank charge, okay, of $10, okay. Well, see, it didn't take it into account. Okay. So I really ought to go back and redo this function, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to redo it, okay? So I go to this second balance, okay? I hold the left button down and I scroll down to the bottom, okay? That marks off the cells I want computed, okay? Now I go back up to the top. Now I hit an equal sign. Okay? That says I want to compute all of these cells, okay, as a vector function. And I want them equal to I'm going to start up here, click, and I'm going to go down, except I'm not going to put the last one in, okay? When you do vector functions, all the vectors have to be of the same length, okay? So it's basically this column is equal to itself, except offset by 1. That is, you take the previous value, okay, and put it in the next one. Okay? Then I'm going to put plus. Okay. These are the posits. Okay, starting with the second one. These are all the deposits. Okay. Okay. Minus. These are all of the withdrawals. Minus any bank charges, right? Okay, that breaks that. So now hold down Shift and Control at the same time, and while I'm holding those two down, I press Enter. Okay. So now it corrects that little error. Right? So, for instance, let's say you've got some numbers here, 1, 2, 3, okay? And let's say you got 4, 5, and 6, okay? And over here, let's say you just want to add them to, let's say, well, first of all, let's just say you wanted to add those two columns together. Then you can start. You can do this. Okay? So you do a left click here, hold it down, and do like this. Okay. Now, so you've chosen the two columns you want added. Okay. And the place where you want the sum to be. Okay. So these two columns have figures in them, this doesn't. Okay? Now there's something up here with the sum. You can over here and click on the sum. Okay? And you can sum those, okay? That's a sum. Click on sum, okay? And that gives you the sum, okay? And let's do this. Put another column here. And now let's do the average, okay? See, this gives you this gives the average of these three numbers. This gives you the average of these three numbers. This gives you the average of these three numbers. Okay? Now let's say you've got a value here, 30. And let's say you've got a column here. These numbers are to be added to 30, okay? We're going to add a 3 to 30 and a 5 to 30 and a 77 to 30. Okay? And let's suppose these are supposed to be subtracted, okay? So we're going to subtract 4 from 30, and we're going to subtract 6 from 30, and we're going to subtract 25 from 30. Okay? So basically I'm going to go, here's 30. Then I want to add 3 and subtract 4. That should be 29, right? And then I want to add 5 and subtract 6. So I should get 28, right? I want to add 77 and subtract 25, okay? That's what I was doing over here, okay? So here's how I do it, okay? I click here, okay, hold down. I'm going to compute 3 numbers, okay? And they're equal to. And now I'm going to move up. It's equal to these 3 numbers, okay? Plus these 3 numbers, okay? Minus these 3 numbers, okay? So the first of these 3 numbers is going to be L5 plus J6 minus K6. The next of these 3 numbers is going to be L6 plus J7 minus K7. And the last of these 3 numbers is going to be L7 minus J8, plus J8 minus K6. Okay? You hold down Shift and Control. Enter. And that's essentially how I was doing this, Another way of looking at it is like this. I'm computing 3 numbers, okay, these 3 numbers here, okay. Those 3 numbers are equal to these 3 numbers. Oops, sorry. I want to compute 3 numbers, okay. Equal, again. They're equal to these 3 numbers. Okay. Plus these 3 numbers minus these 3 numbers. Okay? Hold down Shift and Control. Okay, hit Enter. Okay, so that's the way you can do your bank book. Now, maybe I went too fast for you. Yeah. After all, I realize it's kind of hard to follow this kind of a lecture with the professor's up there going, you can't do it that fast, right? So, how would you get some good, I guess, videos on how to do this? How? YouTube? Great. Go to YouTube again. But your textbook also has them. Okay? How would I find on your textbook the I guess videos for how to do Excel? So I would go to Blackboard. This is assuming you've bought the textbook. You didn't really buy that textbook, the online textbook. You just rented it for this semester. At the end of this semester, all that stuff's going to go away, right? And so, if any of it you can save, you might want to do that. Okay, now I'm going to look at the teach view, okay? Because that's my I guess access to the textbook is through the teach view, okay? Yours would of course be through the student view. So how do we open up the textbook? we go over here to the SCORM module, okay? SCORM, okay? This SCORM module is how you access the textbook, so we're going to click on that. And it's going to say emerge with computers V2 F11, okay? And I'm going to click on that. Looks like that does not contain any content. Oh, good. Awesome. I'm going to click on 1.1. Well, doesn't seem to be working today. Well, I don't know what happened here. You want the student view? Well, by the way, one thing is you've got to have the latest version of Java on your computer. I may not have updated this computer for the latest. If you've got Java 6 version 29, it doesn't work. You've got to have so the fact that it's not coming up, I need to check my version of Java. So basically, I want to, let's see what's available here. So I need to install this here. Still don't know. No, that's Java. Yeah. Well, anyway, I guess I shouldn't do this in class. Okay. Well, maybe I'll do it. I don't have that much time left anyway, so let me just do this. The latest Java software. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to click this. I won't do it in class, but you got to love the latest Java, okay? If you don't have that, you know, your textbook won't come up. Okay? Okay, what else can we do besides balance our bank account? Let's suppose that we own a business, okay? And let's suppose we hire people by the hour. And so we want to do a spreadsheet that keeps track of people's hours and then multiplies it by their salary per hour and therefore how much money we had to pay them, okay? So first of all, I'm going to save this one I just worked on here. And if I don't give it a name, it's saved as book 1. So let's say checkbook. So then I can close it. Okay. And now I'm just going to make a new spreadsheet. Okay. So this one is going to be a spreadsheet that's going to do the payroll, okay, for hourly employees. Okay. So I'm just going to write down here payroll for hourly employees. That's going to be a heading, okay? So I'm going to have, I guess, we'll have our first employee is going to be, say, Joe. Okay. So maybe better still, let's do this. Say employee name, okay. Okay. And let's say date. And let's say time in, okay. Time out. Do another time in. Another time out. And hours worked, okay. So the idea is, let's say this employee here is Joe, okay, and let's say on 2/2/12, Joe came to work at say 8 o'clock in the morning, and then he timed out at noon. I'm out of time. Yeah, I'm just about out of time. He went to lunch, okay, and he came back, let's say at 1:02 p.m. Well, let's say he left at 11:58 a.m. He left 2 minutes early. Came back 2 minutes late. And timed out at 4:59 p.m. Now I know how many hours he worked, okay? This is going to be equal to, yes? Question? This is going to be equal to D4. It doesn't matter where it's a capital or not. Minus C4. Well, this isn't going to be right, okay? Timing, doing calculations in time are a little strange, okay? And so I'm going to defer this, okay, until I'm out of time. So next time I'm going to look at some more examples of Excel. And I'm going to actually start working an example like your assignment, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Yes.
So there's like this test, right?
Yeah.
Like, what about an interview that we have? Like an interview for pharmacy school?
Yeah.
Like I have it 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to last 2 hours, but the drive back to drive there and back is 4 hours.
You don't have to be in class to take the test.
Oh, you don't have to be in class? Okay.
Just log in the Blackboard.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Is this all day or just during that time?
Just during that time.
Okay.